What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the playoffs for the very first time in our NHL 25 Be a Pro Goalie career. It has been a very, very long season getting to this point, a very successful season for both myself as a rookie goaltender and the Golden Knights as a team. We ended up finishing first in the Pacific, first in the National Hockey League for that matter, and here we enter the first round of the playoffs against the Minnesota Wild. It should be a fun and exciting series. Hopefully the boys can continue where they left off and build that momentum as we go for a chase for Lord Stanley himself. Now, a couple things to break down for you guys. First and foremost, we are still a backup goaltender, a low-rated backup goaltender. Even though we had a really good season, Adin Hill played arguably just as good, if not better, over a longer course of games. He had something like 50-plus starts this season, and he was absolutely electric, leading the Golden Knights to this first position in the Pacific. Having said that, that might also mean that we actually don't get any starts during this playoff run. Now, I know that doesn't sound exciting and would be anticlimactic, but you got to consider that as a 79 overall goaltender, as a backup goaltender, you saw the coach's comment at the end of the last video. You can see it on the right side of the screen under lineup status. We are the backup. So in order for us to get in the net, multiple things need to happen. We hope it doesn't, because at the same time, as much as I would love to get a playoff start, that would mean most likely that Adin Hill is not playing well, or the boys are behind in the series. I really doubt if we get off to a really hot start and we start playing really well, I don't actually think we're going to get a start in net. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we do see at least one game here, but this video could quite literally be a 10-minute video if one, the boys get knocked out early, or two, they go on a really good run and Adin Hill leads them back to the Stanley Cup. So lots of things to still look out for. If it ends here, we'll go through the offseason and get ready for season number 2. If we get into the crease, you better believe we're going to be ready for that game. So without further delay, sit back, relax. This could be a little bit of a simulation game here, but we're going to go ahead and sim the first game of the 24-25 first round playoffs. Here we go. All right, and it looks like the boys get off to a beautiful start, 1-0 in that 7-4. So actually not the best goaltending performance from Adin Hill, and realistically, that's a pretty sloppy first game of the playoffs. 7 goals allowed by Minnesota in that one. You can see the Predators won in overtime, 3-2. The old Vegas Golden Knight, Marchessault getting the overtime winner there. You have Tampa Bay beating Florida in this one. Hagel with the game winner, 4-3. And Montreal absolutely annihilating New York, 3-0. You love to see that. But for us, a 7-goal performance. We'll have a quick peek at all the goals here to make sure we're keeping up to date with what's going on. So Nicholas Waugh getting the first goal of the playoffs, followed by Pietrangelo. That's a 2-0 start there in the first period. But Bogosian got the Wild back into it before 3 goals exploded in that second period. William Karlsson, Mark Stone, and even Olofsson getting on the board. So a 4th-line goal from Vegas. Bogosian getting 2, so the defenseman stepping up and getting his team back into it. Then the third period started with a goal by Clark, followed by Jack Eichel, who, remember, had a phenomenal year, only a point behind Connor McDavid for that league-leading point score. Kaprizov getting 1 for Minnesota, and capping the game off was Noah Hanifin. So a really good game offensively. Maybe a bit of a sluggish game by both goaltenders and the defensive crew, but sometimes that can happen in these games. You're not going to have quite as many low-scoring contests that you would see in the real world. So that's the first game for you guys. 1-0 lead. We're obviously not getting the second start. Let's go ahead and simulate the second game. It's going to be a 2-0 lead with a 2-1 overtime win. So a much different look here in game number 2, but it is Vegas jumping out to both of those games at home. We'll have a look at the out-of-town scoreboards. You have Oilers taking that first game against the Seattle Kraken. Remember, Seattle working really hard this season to even get to the playoffs, losing that first game. Dallas beat Winnipeg 3-2. Toronto shutting out the Ottawa Senators 2-0. Game-winning goal goes to Austin Matthews. And the Carolina Hurricanes beating the Devils 5-1. So that was on the off days, so not when we're playing. Then you have St. Louis tying the series at 1 game apiece. It'll be Tampa jumping out to a 2-0 lead with a 3-0 game, and the Rangers will tie up that series with a 2-0 win over the Montreal Canadiens. But it is the Vegas Golden Knights winning that one. We'll have another quick peek at all the goals. It'll be Noah Hannafin with his second of the postseason, excuse me. Boyd picking one up, no goals in the third period, and the overtime winner goes to Howden in the first minute of overtime there, getting a goal for the Vegas Golden Knights. So all the lines, all the defensive pairings, everybody getting involved. You'll love to see that. And now we will head out to Minnesota for the third game of the postseason. Once again, not starting, so we will simulate this one. And it's going to be a 3-0 lead. 4-2 for the Minnesota Wild. And kind of what I expected, like I talked about. I'm not lying to you guys when I say that Adin Hill has been so dominant that I could see him just going right to the end. It'll be a 1-1 series where Seattle trounced the Edmonton Oilers 5-1. Dallas takes a 2-0 lead with a boring 1-0 game over the Winnipeg Jets. Ottawa tying it up. So a 4-3 win there. Noah Gregor getting a goal against his former team. And the Devils will also tie up that series. So good little battle here in the off night. Nashville takes a 2-1 lead. Tampa 3-0 against Florida. That's kind of a shocker. I wasn't quite expecting Tampa to absolutely dominate Florida so early in this postseason. And the Rangers will get one up on the Montreal Canadiens. For us, it was a 4-2 win. Again, we'll have a peek at all of our games. So it'll be Trent in there with the first goal for Minnesota, followed by Barbashev. That rounds out the first period. Pietrangelo, Clark, Barbashev, and Olofsson. Again, Olofsson finding ways to contribute on that fourth line. Denisenko and Hannafin picking up those assists. So pretty good postseason by Hannafin. Really good postseason by some of those fourth liners. And that's exactly what you need here as you take a 3-0 lead going into what could be the sweep here against the Minnesota Wild. Let's see if the boys can get it done. They do. So we end up winning 2-1 again in overtime. And the Vegas Golden Knights will just easily escape the Minnesota Wild with a 4-0 sweep, setting them to the second round of the playoffs. So you love to see that. It's too bad that the coach didn't say, hey, maybe we can toss him in for that possibly final game. But it's good to see that the boys got the job done. Again, Edmonton taking a 2-1 lead. Winnipeg dropping that one 5-2 with a Dallas lead of 2-1 now. Toronto shut out the Ottawa Senators this time 4-0. And Carolina will jump on top 2-1 against the Devils. On our side of the bracket, we have the Nashville Predators losing 2-1 to the Blues. Series tied at 2 games apiece. Florida escaping elimination and picking up a win here, barely 2-1 to make this a 1-3 series, excuse me. And then the Rangers will jump up to a great lead, 3-1 over the Montreal Canadiens. For us, it was a game-winning goal in overtime. You saw it there. Spoiler alert, it was Mark Stone, but Zuccarello getting his first of the postseason. Thomas Hertl with his first in I believe that means it's the first minute of the third period. Great to see him get on the board. And then Mark Stone with his second of the series wins it in overtime for a very quick 4-0 series against the Minnesota Wild. So there you have it. There's the first round of the playoffs. We're going to go ahead and simulate through these next couple of days. And we'll see who ended up taking some of these early first round series and find out who our next opponent is. Those are some great games, more realistic. You love to see that. Who are we playing? Edmonton Oilers ended up winning 4-2. Kind of what you expected. I think it was a tall task for Seattle to overcome that team. It's kind of unfortunate we can't really see what the series ended up being, but it will be the Oilers who beat the Seattle Kraken, Vegas beating Minnesota. Then you have the Blues who I think ended up destroying the Nashville Predators 4-1, maybe it was 4-2, and Dallas ended up holding on against Winnipeg. On the Eastern side, no surprises there. Montreal gets bumped out. New York taking that series, and then Carolina beating the New Jersey Devils for a matchup between them and the Rangers. Then you have Toronto with a rematch in the second round against the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers came back in that series. Okay, now we're going to box score because how did Tampa Bay do that? Oh, my fellow friend who is a Tampa Bay Lightning fan in the comments, I am sorry for your team. How the heck did they lose that? They were up 3-0. So it was a blowout in the final game that sends Florida to the second round. We have to go to April to see the other games, I would believe. Is there a way to It's kind of unfortunate how they do this. I would like if there was just a separate playoff picture. But they won in overtime in their next elimination game. They beat them 7-2 the game before. So Florida finally finding their legs and not only coming back entirely, but having a second series matchup against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That is wild to me. All right, first game of the second series. It's Vegas taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid looking to lead his team back to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we will lose that game 2-0. So it was a very, very boring game, so to speak. And it'll be a 2-0 lead here. Edmonton Oilers taking this one. Not a lot of goals. It'll be Janmark and McDavid, the only 2 goals coming within the first 10 minutes of the game, and nothing after that. So pretty quiet. St. Louis, similar boat, 2-1 against Dallas. The Toronto Maple Leafs absolutely pouncing on the Cats 4-0. And the Rangers will take a 1-0 series lead, 3-2 against the New York Rangers. So pretty fun start to this one. Obviously, you don't want to drop in a kind of a boring game like that. We'll go into game 2 here and see if the boys can pull off a win. They do not, as now we might be getting into Rookie getting his first postseason start as we lose game number 2, 3-2. Another low-scoring affair for the most part. And we'll have a quick peek as now the Oilers are in a pretty commanding position, taking both games in Las Vegas. Pietrangelo with the goal to start the game. Zach Hyman, Evander Kane. Mark Stone will tie it up in the second, but it's going to be Zach Hyman with his second goal of the postseason to win that one in the third period. We have I don't like that it doesn't show the series stats, but it is a 1-1 series here as Dallas picks up the overtime winner. It's going to be Florida tying the Toronto series at 1 game apiece. And it's going to be the Hurricanes tying this at 1 game apiece. So the only series that is not tied 1-1 is, in fact, our matchup against the Edmonton Oilers. And they're actually not going with us. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we might not be getting any starts in this postseason. And that's going to help Aiden Hill's cause as he takes a 4-2 win in game number 3 in Edmonton to get us back in this matchup. We'll have a quick peek at all of our goals once again. We have Dorofeyev kicking things off. We have Ryan and Middleton scoring for Edmonton the first, but then it was all Vegas from that point on. Whitecloud, Barbashev, and Thomas Hertl getting on the board to claim this one 4-2. Then you have the St. Louis Blues taking a 2-1 lead. The Maple Leafs destroying the Panthers 7-3 to take a 2-1 lead. And the Rangers will get the best of the Hurricanes 3-2 for a 2-1 series lead. All right. Go ahead and simulate. See if the boys can tie up this series, taking 2 on the road, similar to what Edmonton just did. And they will do just that. Unbelievable stuff here. What a fun series we got brewing. Tied at 2 games apiece. You can see the beard starting to come in for the kid, even though he has yet to start in his first postseason game. We have Hag and Holtz getting started, followed by Draisaitl, Barbashev, Jack Eichel, Draisaitl again, Evander Kane, and Olofsson. Unbelievable postseason by Olofsson, who has his first in this series, third in this postseason, and he is making the most of his short ice time as Vegas will take this to a 2-2 series scoreboard. We got Dallas tying this one up at 2 games apiece. We got Toronto taking a 3-1 lead thanks to a game-winning goal by Nick Robertson. And the Rangers will also jump to, I believe that's a 3-1 lead now. I believe it is. So couple of options here for some knockout power. See if anybody gets eliminated here as we simulate our 5th game against the Edmonton Oilers, and we will drop 3 games to 2, losing that game 2-1, and now in desperation mode as we have to win the next game to stay in this hunt for Lord Stanley himself. Draisaitl with the opening goal, no goals in the second. Evander Kane, and in the last minute, Hanifin gets Vegas on the board, but it's too little too late, and we now are facing our first elimination game of the 24-25 postseason. The Dallas Stars are able to, I believe that is the win, isn't I believe that's the win. Down 1-0, tied. No, they were down. Okay, so that was actually a 2-1 to St. Louis. Then it was 2-2. Now it's 3-2 in favor of Dallas. It's going to be, once again, The frickin' Florida Panthers finding a way to escape off elimination. 3-2 now for that game, I believe. Is that 3-2? 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. Yep. And then you got the Hurricanes also holding on, so nobody getting eliminated just yet. We got some game 6s coming up, and it's going to be a big moment here. This next click of the X button will determine if our season is done and we will head into our sophomore year, or if the boys can continue this dream season along and make it one more game, as we will simulate game number 6. And the boys hold on for a big win, barely 4-3 against the Edmonton Oilers. Let's go, baby. So it looks like all the other series are done. So big news coming out of that. This will go to game 7. It's going to be Henrique starting things off, then Brett Howden once again, Draisaitl once again, Dorofeyev, have a postseason young man. Mark Stone picking up a goal here. Thomas Hertl with his second of this series, and Adam Henrique late to try and get the Oilers back into it, but we will hang on for 4-3 win. It's going to be Dallas eliminating St. Louis, a game-winning goal by Jason Robertson. It's going to be the Leafs finally beating the Cats to head to the conference finals, and then it's going to be the Rangers who beat out the Carolina Hurricanes. So game 7 at the T-Mobile Arena in front of the home fans against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. It would have been great to try and sneak our way into that game, but Aiden Hill has done a great job. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 7. Oh no, we ended up losing 2-1, and that's gonna wrap up the postseason without a game. I apologize that it was anticlimactic. We would have loved to get in the net. I've talked about it forever that unfortunately Aiden Hill was just so good this year and Vegas was so dominant that for us to get into the net was such a long shot. I was hoping we would get one. That didn't happen. It's going to be the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl, Barbashev ties it, and with a pass from none other than Connor McDavid, Kulak is going to put the dagger into the beautiful season of the Vegas Golden Knights. And unfortunately, we will not be able to capitalize off that remarkable year and win the Stanley Cup in our first season. So we got lots of training hours here. It's a great opportunity to kind of reflect on what you need to improve on. I actually talked about this. We can get this to 90. I think that's going to be great for the offseason. Our gloves looking okay. Recovery can be bumped up. We'll try and get that into 83. And with 2 hours remaining, we will put it into screens and just about get to that 87 marker. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't meant to be. It was such a fun season. We'll go ahead and kind of simulate through all of the off-season stuff and get ourselves situated for the new season upon us. I hope you guys did enjoy this season nonetheless. I hate, it's a little bittersweet because you would have loved to play in one playoff game just to give yourself a chance to feel like what it is, what it's like, excuse me. Lots of off-season training here, trying to put in good work. We'll try and put it into rebound. Some other things that are like right on the cusp. Vision will certainly go up. Endurance, durability. We're going to feel like a new man when we come back in the new year. Can I actually just keep... Let's go. 89 vision. 17 hours of looking through traffic. That's got to be a tedious little time frame. We also are going to be entering our second year, so we can finally start using some of this money. I know we could use that before, but 764,000 really isn't that much. That would benefit greatly. But in the second season, we should start generating more money. We should be able to buy a couple perk points that'll help us as we look to try and steal that starting job position away from Aiden Hill, if he even remains on the team. Remember, off-season, crazy things can happen. Lots of fun, exciting times ahead of us still. We try and get our 5-hole up to 90. That was such a plague point for me this year. We can get it to 90. Recovery needs some work too. Put one more in a 5-hole. So lots of off-season training. It hasn't shown me who won the Stanley Cup yet. I'm not quite sure why. I don't think there's any games remaining. Stanley Cup final is Toronto and the Dallas Stars. Oh my lord, my team can actually win the Stanley Cup. I've seen it happen so many times in people's Be a Pros or franchise modes, but I did not think that Toronto had it in them in my playthrough. Will Austin Matthews, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, finally get the job done and bring home the Stanley Cup in this year's game? I've actually never seen Toronto win, believe it or not. In all of the playthroughs that I've done, other than if I'm playing a Be a Pro as a Toronto player, I've never seen Toronto come out with the Stanley Cup. So that'd be actually really cool if that was to help it happen. We're gonna put a lot of time, 20 hours into movement training. Let's put some into, we only have 3 left. Let's put some into sprints, just get a little bit more durable endurance so our stamina doesn't, you know, drain as much. We're getting very close to the off season where free agency and things like that are gonna happen. The Dallas Stars are gonna beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. No! Oh, that sucks. Well, congratulations to the Dallas Stars. That's an upset and a half all the way through the postseason. They barely squeaked into a playoff spot, and here they are hoisting the Stanley Cup. So Dallas Stars are now the 24-25 Stanley Cup champions. You can see our overall season stats at the top. 32 games played in. Obviously, we started less games than that. At 2.91 goals against average, our save percentage did drop because of that final game blow up, but it's still a 910 save percentage with an 18-8-4 overall record, ending as a 79 overall. We will take that gladly into the postseason and into our sophomore year. Here we go. End of the rookie season. First win against the Anaheim Ducks. You love to see that. 18 wins. 2 shutouts. That's it. That seems so stupid. And there you have it. Philadelphia wins the first lottery. Utah jumps up to second. Columbus, San Jose, Detroit. So some usual names you'd kind of suspect there winning the lottery. What is this? Wait a minute. Why am I... Wait. What's happening? Did I not sign a rookie contract? Ladies and gentlemen, we have some unprecedented times in this game. This is legitimately never happened to me. I did not realize. I swear that when I got to go back and look at the very first video. Did we not sign a 3-year rookie contract? Why are we getting offers? So this is... I could completely throw you guys for a loop here. We could stay as the Vegas Golden Knights backup goaltender for the next year, or we could pull a 180 move and move to one of these other 3 teams. EA, is that even possible? I'm pretty sure we just experienced a bit of a glitch. I know for a fact that every single time you start to be a pro, you sign a 3-year rookie contract, entry-level contract. Unless for some reason it was a 1-year, I don't know why that would happen. Oh, I don't know what to do. This is parts where I wish that I was streaming so you guys could help me. Part of me wants to go back to Vegas. It's where I started my career. It's where I want to try and become the starting goaltender. However, they still have Aiden Hill. He is going to be locked up for probably the foreseeable future, and basically we're going to have to play our way through another 2 seasons as a possible backup, maybe a 1B type goalie. If we go to somebody like Philly, who really does not have a good goaltending situation there, we could play with guys like Michkov and all those young kids coming up under John Tortorella. We could go to Pittsburgh Penguins under Kyle Dubas, try and ride Sidney Crosby to 1 more Stanley Cup. Or we could go to a very well-established New Jersey Devils who also have a fantastic goalie. So it's actually Vegas offering me the least amount of money. It is going to be the other 3 teams. So no, it's just Pittsburgh and Philly offering me the most money. I am so confused. I've never had this happen after the first season. All right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a randomizer. I'm going to put all 4 names in, and I'm going to pick the team, and we're going to roll with it. Here we go. We will enter Vegas Golden Knights, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the New Jersey Devils. I'm actually fine with all 4 of these teams. If you're a Vegas fan, I apologize if this doesn't work out in your favor, but hey, I did not realize that they signed me to a 1-year entry level. That's a dick move if you're asking me. Or it's an EA glitch. Either way, I kind of want to jump ship and go to another team. So we're going to click this randomizer in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 25-26 season, the kid who, remember, we're playing as a superstar, a not team player mindset. We're going full douchebag. We're going full star-like attitude. Michael Webb, the up-and-coming goaltender, has decided to sign with the Philadelphia Flyers. Unbelievable, unprecedented times. The kid has completely jumped ship in an unbelievable moment. I don't know if they added that to this year, that you can sign to a different team. I've never had that happen after year 1, but we will take our skates and we will head to the Eastern Coast and we will try to lead this Philadelphia Flyers team to a brand new outlook in the 25-26 calendar year. I cannot believe what just happened, and I'm not lying to you guys. I rolled on that and it landed on the Philadelphia Flyers. They trade Nick Schmaltz and Ristolainen to Buffalo, so some big moves out of this. There's the kid in his new threads. Oh man, there's a game. I'm so excited. Part of me really wanted to stay with Vegas, but I love when that happens because I almost always leave it up to chance, unless there's a team I really don't like, sorry Montreal fans, but like Montreal or somebody like that, I probably won't play for them if I have a choice. But we are now here, hopefully, as the starting goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers. There's a game for charity. We're going to drop in our star one. We'll try and throw in a persuade. Unfortunately, we didn't get a job done. So unlucky, but there you have it. New threads, new town, new team. Oh my word. So we didn't get to play in the playoffs. Maybe it's a little slight at the team being like, hey guys, we ended up losing and we didn't even get a single start. I trust that Adin Hill is going to lead that team back to the playoffs. For me, it's an opportunity for me to get with a new team, some new young kids as a young goaltender myself, and try to piece it all together to lead this team back to the Stanley Cup playoffs under John Tortorella. We got the kids with us. I love it. This is what this game's all about. And there you have it. We are back on a new team, baby. All right, well, we know what we need to get done. We have 764,000 funds. We have, do we have any zone ability upgrades? Let's see. I can't believe that. I really, truthfully don't know how that happened. But hey, that's on Vegas for not offering us more money. Again, we're not doing the team game this year. We're going to go to edit player and just see. I might choose a new pad set. We might get, quote unquote, sponsored by a new company this year. We can still got the Vegas colors on. So the only thing is, Philly not, there's the old one. Philly doesn't have a bad helmet. That's actually not bad at all. I think we'll just rock with that one. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and play through or simulate the preseason. I don't want to do that on camera. We did that once at the beginning of the playthrough and it just didn't feel like a very, great game. But we are here on a new team. Next time we come back, season 2 is going to start. And we are with a new team. So I hope you guys are excited about it. I hope you guys aren't, if you're a Vegas fan, that has nothing to do with the team. Nothing at all. It has everything to do with the fact that we are playing with a mindset of a star mentality. We will not be the star in Vegas for a couple years yet. The team did not play us in the playoffs and ended up losing. And we got offered more money for a 1-year contract. So things might change at the end of this season even. I've never had this, and this is so exciting. Oh, I feel like a little kid. I know I'm kind of sounding like a broken record, but okay, here we go. You get 5 shutouts and 9 save percentage or higher. Let's get this one. We're going to be all sorts of cocky this year. With a new team, we're going to get 5 shutouts, and we're going to have a 9-10 save percentage again by the end of this year.
Let's see if he can take his
new coach, new faces.
He can be that franchise goaltender.
There you go. I agree with you. Maybe we can get a chance to be a franchise goaltender here in Philadelphia. So let's simulate. How do we simulate through to get to the regular season? I want to see. We might not even be the starter. That's the best part about all this. We quite literally could have just made the worst decision of our life, and we'll have to suffer through it. Oh man. I hate simulating through this because I'm always scared that the coach is going to be like, you suck. But here we are. All right, Finn, Cooperman. Oh, is this the guy that we said? Oh, we did not play with that team for a while. Heard that Webb plays for the Flyers now. Is this true? So exciting. It's true. If you're excited now, wait till you see me on the ice. Oh man, I can't believe we're sitting here in Philadelphia Flyer colors. This is unprecedented for be a pro goalie career. And I love it. Season 2 is going to be a whole new ball game, baby. We are getting the opener. We are getting the season opener. We are the #1 goaltender. Let's go, baby. All right, so I'll go through all this when I'm not in here. Media divisional enthusiast. Interesting. There's a conversation we can have. I do want to see what our lineups look like because off-season things happen. We got Konechny, Frost, and Michkov, who's now up to an 88. The young man having a great opportunity here on the top line. We got Steele, Farabee, Tippett, Brink, Couturier, Tatar, Greenway, Forster, and Holmberg. Pontus Holmberg leaving the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have Sanheim and Drysdale, an unbelievable young talent on the blue line. York and Zamula, Martinez and Andre? Something like that. We'll learn all these guys. And we got, that's... Well, now we have to steal the #1 job. I did not realize EA left Carter Hart in this game. If you know, you know. He's a piece of shit. Excuse my language, but we're going to try and steal that job. There's the kid with a smile on his face. A new team, new colors. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 2. The next episode will kick this whole craziness off. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though we didn't play in a playoff game. There was some excitement in this game after all. Thank you so much for watching Season 1. We'll be back here very shortly for the start of Season 2. Until then, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bells. And we're getting into it, baby. Philadelphia Flyer. Who would have thought? Season 1, it's over. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you take care of yourself, and we'll catch you back here in the next episode. Bye, guys.